So the model we adopted that we are trying to go through is different roles in a single pathway. Along the pathway from a research idea, not only in IRCCS but in academia too, towards a new actually applied product, we find different actors with different goals and roles. This is quite trivial, it's clear for everybody. Our goals in particular are of social nature, so new translational knowledge and innovative applications. We know that industry has, I wouldn't say money as goal, but profitable innovation in that sense, because there are several other ways to do money without innovation. Let's be optimistic, profitable innovation. There are some good success cases of correct synapse functioning between these different words, but in general, it doesn't work. And we can see, we were discussing this morning, at the foundation, at the ETPN, we have definitely more academia than big industries. Then we have a certain bunch of small and medium enterprises that is good. But we were not able, in general, in Europe, to establish a sustainable win-win strategies. So, what about sustainability? In an institution like our institution, that is a not-for-profit one, working by projects is the rule. We make research and development by projects. This is quite different in industry, in which the long-term, the 5-year strategic plan for research should be the rule. In research hospitals and in academia, this is not true. Maybe it is true on the paper, but in general it is not true. Why that? Because a project funded by calls-based programs like European Commission or like Ministry of Health are in general discontinuous sources of money that anyway cannot be missed in order to survive. Thus, indirectly, call-based projects induce, unfortunately, especially the smaller institutions, to adapt themselves to call contents instead of establishing a medium long-term R&D planning. Establishing a synapse with industry for TT, for technology transfer, is for us a new goal. And establishing a medium long-term R&D planning is a first important element that we have to achieve in order to activate a long-lasting dialogue with industry in a sort of complementary perspective and not in a master-slave model. That is, they ask, we do, they use, they pay, they use. That is not the model, this is a model already working, but this is not the model we would like to achieve, for instance, in nanomedicine. In order to initially feed, because we have to be realistic, with resources, the long-term planning, institutions like ours can apply different techniques. Maybe low-level techniques, but these are important for the initial boost. Some project results licensed out as a cash cow, internal funding, on-order research and development. This is something that all not too small research institutions can do in order to have money for long-term independent programming, not dependent by call contents. Anyway, the major pitfall is establishing a relationship with industry because there is a cultural gap in terms of language, timelines, and management styles. Language and project management can be fixed. We can learn language. We must learn language of industry in order to talk with them. We must, in part we know, and we must improve in general as R&D institution our project management capabilities. But the top level of the strategical management style is strictly related to the nature of the institution. It is the basis for its survival and positioning in its network. So it cannot be changed. So is this a definitive pitfall? We cannot go on? We do not think so. What we need are probably tugboats, like the little one that carry the big ships from R&D towards industry. They should be small enough to be agile, old enough not to be naive, that are able to understand research contents, recognizing novelty and added value that often the researcher is not able to do because it's too in love with its idea. It cannot see the real added value or not real added value. Assessing the market interests, feeding back R&D institutions with steering information about the strategy, designing realistic scenarios for product development, raising funds for transfer, helping in negotiation, and especially earning mostly from successful technology transfer. Such tugboats should act as neurotransmitters in the synapse I was mentioning before. Similar organizations are not a dream. Similar organizations are already present, but not in R&D world, in the industrial world. They're already acting something, the industrial world, the other world, and do exactly this job, but between industries with different sizes or objectives, bridging the gap and steering the link. So the objective for us is to achieve this kind of organization. Their culture is an industrial one, not an R&D strictly speaking one, not a not-for-profit one, and this could initially be an obstacle for us in order to achieve the contacts, but they earn from success, and not-for-profit world is a formidable reservoir of new resources. So it could be a win-win situation. Universities and sometimes other R&D institutions set up technology transfer offices. But the TT offices born in not-for-profit world often try to do technology push only in an unfocused and ineffective way. That is, they know the catalog of what is in their institution and they try to sell this. In our vision, this is not the right way to do that. And at least in Italian situation, we know that it does not work. And even in the majority of the European cases. So exploring more deeply the industrial world is a new task. But at the end, there is the last question, is this ethical for not-for-profit organizations? I was dining with a person from the European Commission some days ago during a meeting abroad, and I did the same. I was talking about these topics with him, and he asked me, but what is the mission of your institution? Because you talk like a company, not like a not-for-profit institution. So, it is clear, is this ethical? Yes, it is. It is unethical not to do so, for the reasons that, in my mind, for the reasons that I brought here. For an organization like the ours, should we insist in searching a continuous relationship with industry? Can we lose our time stealing it from patient care to explore industry world? Is it dangerous in terms of freedom of research? That is another typical topic that especially from academia comes. In our mind, trying to play own role in the most ethical action, doing it trying to play own role is the most ethical action. But doing it in a not sustainable way, that is without taking into account the due inputs and outputs, is definitely unethical, because you lose a lot of opportunities and you waste a lot of money. So we must think of a sustainable model allowing the highest achievable goal in favor of the largest number of patients, not only our own patients as an hospital, that is the same for all the other hospitals. This can only be done, in our mind, passing through industry. So this is the most straight way to obtain a sustainable model to reach the largest number of patients with positive solutions. And the conclusion is that the first step must be done by us, that is by R&D institution, learning from the industrial world without losing anyway the clear DNA of our own mission, but learning from the other world. We cannot expect big industries to come and join us, even in ETPN, as a plenty of industries to search for R&D basic ideas. 20 years far from marketed, it is not realistic. So this is the conclusion, and that's all.